Hey everybody, it's Janice with Creating Through Chaos. I'm going to start this project off with this chipboard sign that I got at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to paint the outside edges with Dusty Mauve. Once I have that all painted, I'm going to take it and lay it on some of this scrapbook paper that I also got at Hobby Lobby and trace it out, and then I'm going to cut it out. And the scrapbook paper came from a pack of scrapbook paper. And the sign was a little funky shape, so it took a bit to cut out the scrapbook paper. But once I had it all cut out, isn't that paper beautiful? I'm going to Mod Podge that right onto this chipboard sign. And you can use any sign for this. I just happen to have this on hand, so it worked out perfectly, and I really loved the shape of it. So I'm going to get that all Mod Podged on there. And once it was dry, I sanded off the excess around the edges. And I just love that paper. Next, I got this little frame at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take it apart. It just had like a clip on the front. It's basically an arch with a little clip on the front that you can hang a picture from, and it has a little stand on the back. So I'm just going to take my little screwdriver, and I'm going to pull that clip off front, and then I am also going to pull the stand off of the back, so I'm just going to use the arch itself. And this is really easy to pull apart because these frames are only made out of chipboard, so they're not exactly, you know, strong wood or anything like that. So everything was really easy to pull off of it. I just grabbed some pliers and just pulled it off.
You know, I mean, there's just nothing here.
This being such a small town and kind of like in the middle of nowhere, the environment, if you start hanging out with people who do.
Once I had it all pulled off, I painted it with an antique white color. It's actually the color almondine. And then I have this little bird I'm going to take, and I'm going to trace him out on some scrapbook paper as well. And then cut that out. And once I have that all cut out, I'm going to lay it on my bird, and then I'm going to press down where the bird's wing was, or is, I should say. And I'm going to make an indent so I know where to cut out the scrapbook paper to cut out the wing, because I'm going to do his wing in a different color. So I'm just going to use the wing and just press really hard on the paper to make an indent on the paper so I know where to cut it out. And then I'm going to cut that piece out. And to cut it out, I just used an X-Acto knife because it's a lot easier to cut that way. So I just followed the lines that I made with the indent, and then I just cut out the wing. I'm going to put that back on the bird. Make sure that it fits right and that I cut it correctly. And then I'm going to take another piece of the same scrapbook paper, but I wanted the flower from the scrapbook paper to be what is on the wing. So I'm going to lay that piece of scrapbook paper onto the wing, and then I'm going to do the same thing and press down on it to give the impression. And then I'm going to cut that out. As you can see, I wanted that pink flower right there, just that onto the wing. So I just used a stylus and pressed down and was able to get the indent of just that flower for his wing. Next, I just used a pair of scissors to cut out that piece, and then I'm going to Mod Podge everything back onto the bird. So I'm going to put the body, Mod Podge that on, and then Mod Podge the wing separately. So I just added a nice coat of Mod Podge to it, laid it on, pressed it all down to make sure that it fit correctly again. And then I'll do the wing, and then I sanded off the excess from around the bird, and around the wing I had a little bit of excess, so on the wing I just used a nail file to sand off the excess because that just makes it so much easier. And I think that flower just made the perfect piece for his wing, or her wing. How cute is that? Next, I'm going to go back to that arch. I'm going to use some of my antique wax, and I'm going to wax over the whole arch. Then I'm going to wax around the bird and around his wing. And then I'm also going to wax around the sign along the edges. I really wanted this to have a shabby chic look. And I think this is just coming out so cute. So once those were all done, I grabbed these Hello Spring. These are from Joann's. And then I'm going to paint them with a sage green color. And the color I chose, I picked out of the scrapbook paper colors. That's why I also did the sides with the dusty rose. Next, I'm going to take some muslin that I had tea dyed, and I'm just going to run that through the holes that were in the sign and use that as my hanger. Next, I'm going to glue the arch on to the center of the sign. And then I'm going to add my hello spring. I'm going to do the hello at the top and the spring at the bottom. I'm just add a little bit of hot glue to that. And then I'm going to add the spring to the bottom. And then I'm going to add my little bird to the center. And I think it's all coming together so perfectly. Once I have the bird added, I'm going to add a little bow to her neck that I made out of some of the tea-dyed muslin. Next, I also made this huge bow, and I left the tails really long, and I'm going to glue that up into the top left-hand corner. And this is just some tea-dyed muslin and some tea-dyed lace, and then I'm going to add a cute little button to the center of it, and that is it. This project is done. I think it turned out so cute and so shabby chic. I absolutely love how it turned out. Like I said, you can use a different sign or different projects. I love mixed media, so you can just kind of make it your own. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, don't forget to spread the chaos.